Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're all doing well today. These can be kind of tough sometimes because I don't really know exactly what I want to talk about. I like to talk about a lot of different things, but I can never really zero in on one thing because there's just so many things and my mind just kind of goes all over the place. But I always am interested in the in what an NPC is and what people think it is, and are there NPCs, non-player characters, or are these uh, spirited beings that perhaps have been detached from their spirit? Perhaps they're a different type of spirit. I don't know. All I know is it doesn't really matter too much to me because if they're not able to see through these deceptions and at least the bare minimum, then they're an NPC to me. If they can't see through the events of 2020 or the circus of politics, if they can't see through the fabrication of war, they can't see through fake space, they don't question this hell realm, then what is the use? What is the point in even giving them the or what is the point in saying they have a spirit, or believing they have a spirit at all? Because they're just so I get that's just not me. That's just not what I am. That's not who I am. Because I have too much curiosity that they don't have. And I don't know why. I don't want to degrade people and say, "Hey, you're an NPC and you're I don't want to dehumanize anybody, but at the same time, it's like, well, what is really going on here? And that's something that I'm going to think in my head, and I might not always say it out loud. And I will on this channel to people who understand, but I'm not going to go and call my closest relatives or people in my neighborhood NPCs. But man, back in 2020, it was like everybody just went in unison with each other, and like, oh, the government is saying that there's a really strong virus, a very contagious virus, and we all need to we need to social distance, we need to mask up, and we need to um, comply. And that was just something that hit me. I did wake up, I would say, quote, wake up. I'm always waking up. We're always waking up. I am not woken up at all. I'm not fully woken up. We're always waking, but I was awake before then, not too long before 2020. I'm always sort of proud of that, for as much pride as you can have in this place. Proud that I saw through this stuff before 2020, because I know a lot of people woke at that time. So I knew right away that it was wrong, what was going on, and it was a farce. But I noticed how people just, I figured everyone else was going to. I was like, this is the chance. I was like 2016, 17, 18, 19. It seemed, with the rise of the internet, it seemed that people were starting to distrust governments, official sources more than ever, it seemed. So I was confident that individuals at that time during the pandemic, that if they were given evidence, information contrary to what the government was putting out, that they might think a little bit differently about it. But that just did not occur. That did not happen. If anything, it made things worse. I have to give my family members a little bit of credit, because they did not disown me. They did not ostracize me from the family, which was terrific in a sense. I gave them all the information. I remember I told everybody on 4th of July, some people in my family, because I wasn't with everybody on the 4th of July, but some family members, and told them about the whole thing, Koch's postulates, rivers, and how it was never, those postulates were not fulfilled. And, that it was not proven, and they were taking extreme measures with the population around something that was not proven and destroying the economy, destroying businesses, destroying lives. And, I just, was just basically looked like a crazy person or an idiot, and that the idea that a mask for a certain period of time could cause hypoxia was just crazy, So that's really when I started to see this NPC thing. It was very strange. It was very strange. And it's like, was it a fear that they might have had? Were they in fear of change, a fear of their paradigm being changed? Were they in fear of something, or were they perhaps, I don't know, programmed? They were going with the program. They were programmed to do so. I don't know. Many years ago, prior to 2020, or, when I was younger, teenager, a child, it seemed like everybody knew what was going on. Everybody was ahead of me on these kind of things. So I figure I woke up. I figure they're the same as they've always been, and I woke up, and I'm just noticing who they are now. But it's in some way, it's like they've changed or I've changed. I think it's maybe that I've just changed. My consciousness has changed, and they've always been the same. But there's no question about it that, like I said earlier, whether you are an actual NPC or not, it doesn't matter. If you're not questioning what's happening, if you're going with the flow, then what does that say about you, and why should I respect you as a spirit? Certainly, I'm going to respect people and be civil, but why should I waste my time trying to wake you up? And I think many of us know that is a waste of time. So I see that a couple people have joined the chat here, so appreciate that very much. I just want to sort of skim through the chat. Atlas Gunther is in here, and Twisted Reality Life. Because I like reading the comments, because you guys have some really good ideas and good questions. So, and it can definitely help me out too. You can tell how many NPCs there are by how slow truth or progress is made. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's the NPCs don't even get to first base, in my opinion, with truth or stuff at all, and it's very frustrating. Sometimes people get somewhere, but they don't get far enough. They just never quite make it. Even in the so-called truth community, many people hit a certain level, they hit a certain point, and they just can't go any further. Now, I've gone further. Does that mean that I'm crazy, or does that mean that I'm actually on the right path and on to something? I think I'm on the right path, but I am open to the idea that I'm not right about everything. Well, I don't know if there's 8 billion NPCs. It could be, less than that. I do think there's a lot of NPCs, but I don't know if there's that many people. That seems like a large number. It's kind of like, 93 million miles away. The sun is 93 million miles away, and these stars are trillions of miles away, light years away. I mean, it's just insane numbers, but it could be possible that there's 8 billion. I think the point of the comment is that there's a lot of them, for sure. The true face palms came when no one said a word about government corruption. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how transparent too things have gotten, and people just, they're so worried about the economy, and they're worried about gas, food. They're worried about the basic essentials. That it's really like the news for them, and information that comes out is really just entertainment for a lot of people. I think it's not something they really take seriously. It's not part of their value system. To kind of monitor what's right, what's wrong, what's moral, what's not moral, to keep tabs on that, to keep their, to hold their leaders, their quote leaders, their politicians accountable. That really isn't part of their value system. It seems that their value system is really to just take care of what they need to take care of to survive in the here and now, which is nothing wrong with that. But, we're able to do it. I'm able to do it. So why can't they? Oh, howdy, McCoskey. Howdy, McCoskey. Yeah, I did. I put his pick as a thumbnail, just because I had to pick one and I didn't, have that many. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just choose Howdy. But yeah, he likes to do, likes to do some of the hand signs and stuff. I definitely don't trust him. I'll tell you that right now. I think he's definitely a phony. He says he was a comedian. Maybe he was, but like, he's not funny at all. And he's never told a joke. So he never smiles, really, very rarely. He's just really kind of awkward. I used to enjoy some of his videos or some of his like lives back in the day. But I still was always skeptical of him. I think his thing is like, so my problem with Howdy is like, he focuses so much on the life review when I'm not even planning on having a life review. So he's kind of getting people set up for that, ready for the life review. When I don't think that's what you need to be thinking about. You don't need to be thinking about life reviews. My plan is not to engage with any of these entities, these creatures. And I don't even know if they're even going to exist. I don't even know if they're going to be around. And the last thing I want to do is manifest some demon that's going to provide me with a life review and then judge me. I don't want that to happen. So he does a lot of that. A lot of these, like, I think a lot of these like Howdies and this clique, this network of these soul trap gurus. I think a lot of this is my opinion. You guys don't have to agree with it. You guys can think whatever you want. I don't want to persuade, I don't want to influence. I do this because I enjoy it and I get things off my chest and I enjoy that. But you guys don't have to agree with it at all. Okay. But I think a lot of these gurus, they plant seeds in our minds. They kind of like are just sort of creating. They're kind of creating what where we could create with our imagination these things that they plant in our minds that end up, maybe we end up manifesting these things. That's kind of where I'm at on that. So I'm not having no fucking life review. Come on. Life is but a dream. Yeah. That's, that actually I saw the other day. It was like, I don't know, it was a short or something. It was a title of a video. It said, life is but a dream. Of course, I've heard that, for years. It is like a dream for sure. I had a lot of dreams last night. I had a lot of different scenes of dreams, and I wonder if this is the dream. Boom. But it feels so real, but I know it is real, but it's not real. It's like there's an overlay over my consciousness, and then that is how I am perceiving things. So it is real. I'm real, but I'm not, I hate using the video game analogy, but it's like I'm playing the video game, but me in this earth is the character in the game that I'm playing outside of the game. It's not like real reality. Let's put it that way. No, Howdy does not say much. He wrote a book. What is it? Something about the cave. I have the first book that he wrote of that. There's two books. There's two parts to it. I have part one. I remember reading it. It was pretty boring to me. So it's a lot better than anything I could ever write. So if Howdy is listening, it was good, but I was kind of bored. I mean, it wasn't really much different from what he talks about in his channel. Life has lie in the name. Yes, it does. It's a lot of lies. Yeah. It's just everything could be a lie, and everything really is a lie at the end of the day, because it's just like, this shit is not, as people will say, base reality. So this shit is like, it's like doesn't really exist, but it does. It's yeah, a lot of paradoxes here for sure. Yeah, I mean this, I want to talk about it being the networks and the clicks out there. There's a lot of those out there, and it's like I can't tell if it's just people that just are friendly with each other, or if they're just kind of covering for things and they're just kind of gatekeeping the truth. I don't know, but there's a lot of networks, clicks within truth, within the soul trap, especially. Um, yeah, I don't really want to. I don't want to name names because it's just because I don't want I want to get my ducks in a row, but I wonder if anyone else really notices that there's people that I've been friendly with some people and but not too much. I mean, I'm friendly, but there's just people who there's soul trappers, quote soul trappers that will never call out someone else. They will never call out, they will never admit that there's agents, even at the Howdy level, even at the FCR level. And FCR, some people say, "Oh, he's so friendly," but man, like all he does is talk about near death experiences. He just leaves out so much stuff, and that's the thing about the network. There is a network, and they leave out things, and they just oversimplify it. They talk about the soul trap, and the soul trap has a lot of truths to it, I think. But unfortunately, I think there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more going on than just the standard soul trap narrative. There's a lot more things that we're missing. And I've made the analogy that it's kind of like, it's hard to explain without a visual, but there's all these like truth topics out there. All these truth topics, flat earth, Tartaria, 9/11, the jabs, COVID, so many different topics, soul trap. There's like, religion, like Christianity. There's a lot of like Christian truthers. There's all these topics, and if you can think of all these topics and put like a circle around each topic and and then label the circle with the topic name. The truth, I think, is between that. It's between the circles. It's between the topics. It's not each topic. There's some truth to all of them, but the truth is not right in front of you. It's not a topic that has a label on YouTube. The truth is something that we have to just figure out ourselves. So we have to get information from wherever we can, and then we have to put it together. Unfortunately, I don't think it's something where it's like, well, I'm going to follow Howdy. I'm going to follow Forever Conscious Research. I'm going to follow Tony Sayers, and that's all I need to do. Well, if you guys notice that they don't really give a lot of solutions, do they? No solutions. I'd appreciate if a couple of you folks would hit the like button, the thumbs up. That'd be nice. Let's see. Looking through these comments here. YouTube manufactures channels for us. Yeah, thank you for hitting the like. Well, yeah, Twisted Reality. What do you mean by that? YouTube manufactures channels for us? Because I get what you're saying. I think I know what you're saying. But yeah, there's just really a lot of crap on YouTube right now. I mean, I remember when I used to like, there was so many channels I used to watch, and it was so exciting. And every time I would go to YouTube, there would be like 4 or 5 videos that I could watch, and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to watch that one, then this one, then that one. And then it would recommend a video for you, right after that. Like, oh yeah, that's good too. I'm going to watch that. I don't know if like I changed or YouTube is just really shitty now, but like there's nothing. There's nothing I enjoy watching anymore. It's very boring. I'm bored of all this stuff, really. I'll never get bored of truth seeking, but I'm just bored of the YouTube thing and the channels and the members only, and the fucking super chats shit. I know we don't have too much of that, but in our space, our quote space, whatever that is, the soul trap space, which honestly I'd love to just kind of move out of that, because I just think it's another, sort of like another psyop. And yeah, I mean, I have a whole list of things that, I think are negatives to the soul trap. I think there's more negatives than positives, to be honest with you. But yeah, we can go into that another time or later. I don't know. But so Twisted Reality says, what I mean is these agents in controlled channels. Yeah. Oh, definitely. 100%. Yeah. I mean, they're all like that. I think it's like 90%. I think like 90% of the channels are shit, honestly. And you don't find out right away, but you're going to find out in a few months or a year or 2 years. You'll find out, damn, that was another shill channel. Wonderful. They travel, they have money. Yeah, they always seem to have money and they seem to be doing pretty well for themselves. I don't know, man. Like if I was like, and a lot of them don't really comment or reply back to comments, and they don't really do a lot of that. Some do, but some of the bigger ones, they don't do much of it. I mean, I feel like I'd be doing it all day. Not every comment. If I got like 100, like 200 comments, I might not be able to, but I'd be doing most of them because I care about you guys. Like I'm very empathic. I feel other people. I feel their energy. I can like low key read minds. Not a lot, but a little bit. But I definitely feel people. So I'm like, damn, I leave a comment, boom. If I leave a comment on a YouTube, a channel, a video, I want them to comment back. I want them to reply back, or I want them to at least heart the video, whatever. I mean, the comment. So you don't see a ton of that with some of these channels, these larger ones. I don't know. Have you guys heard of, let's see. Have you heard? Yeah, the best truthers are poor. Well, I'm not poor. And I think I'm one of the best truthers, not as far as giving information, like, telling you about Tartaria, but like, I think I'm one of the best channels as far as being well-rounded, not being afraid of calling out people that I think are deceiving, and also just being honest and truthful, because the truth experience on YouTube is not about competition. It's not about who's better than who. It's not about how many views you get, subscribers, likes. It's not about that. It's about who speaks the most truth. And I think also it's about who holds themselves to a high moral standard. Now, I'm not going to claim that I am the most moral spirit out there, but I speak the truth pretty well. I don't lie about anything. I might bust somebody's chops once in a while, but I'm not going to just lie. I don't do that because that's not why I do this. I don't do this it's actually refreshing to tell the truth. It feels pretty good, but you do get a lot of shit for it. So that does happen. That's for sure. A lot of people are afraid to do it. And yeah, it just gets you in a lot of trouble telling the truth, unfortunately. So yeah, I know a lot of people here, they are soul trappers. I do believe we're in some sort of hell realm for sure. I do believe this is in a sense hell, definitely. Any place that you are where you don't know how you got there and you don't have any memory and you don't have the freedom. Like I think we forgot about how much freedom that we can have and how free we are, at our core, and who we really are, and what our expectations are is to be free. That's what we are, sovereign. And this place doesn't provide that. So if it doesn't provide that, then it is hell. If you can't be free, it's hell. However, that does not mean we were forced in here. It does not mean that we were even tricked in here. Okay. However, I lean towards it. I was tricked, but it's possible that I wasn't tricked. It's possible that I came here for some reason. Okay. I know that sounds crazy, but it's possible. All right. I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of thinking that I came here because I wanted to for some reason, or I wanted the challenge. I wanted to maybe I wanted to see what evil was really like, or how evil things could get, or, whatever. I don't want to believe that, but it's possible. It's on the table. A lot of people, they just throw that away. They throw that right out the window. They were either forced or they were tricked, and that's it. And that's where I have a problem. It's very dogmatic, the soul trap. The soul trap leaders, they push a lot of dogma. And that is a red flag with any topic, is dogma, because I've been doing this long enough. I've been on this truth-seeking journey long enough to know that I'm fucking wrong about a lot of things. I get things wrong. I get deceived a lot. So who's to say I'm not getting deceived right now? Tony Sayers is okay, but he's more selective when replying, from Twisted Reality Life. He is selective when replying. I don't know if he's okay. I do think that he does speak sort of very naturally. It doesn't seem like he's pretending as much. But the whole removing chakras thing, I don't get it. I don't understand. I think there's a lot of things that we can do on ourselves, okay, that we can do to help remove these entities, remove these attachments, and we don't need to pay somebody to do it, okay? So I'm sorry. I would never make a business out of truth. I don't care. I mean, Tony does not seem like somebody who is poor. He doesn't seem like somebody who is desperate. He doesn't seem like somebody who has no ability to make an income. And I know that I can make an income. So I'm not going to use truth as my way to make an income, take the dollar, the whole system, which is so corrupt. I'm going to take advantage of that, by selling you products or selling you solutions, services, like healing services, like he does. There's things we can do to remove these entities on our own. And I don't know if his like abracadabra thing really works. I mean, it might work for some. I've heard some negative things about it, but not anything specific that I can speak of. But I've heard people. There's a channel, Jade Tarot, who had hired Tony to do a service for her, and it did not go well. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to bash him for it. He might very well do great work. Obviously, there's always going to be people who are not going to give a 5-star rating, but why not tell us how to do it ourselves? I mean, and the prices that some of these people charge is ridiculous. So it's like, why the hell? I mean, that is not, coming from the heart, his service, his work. Yeah, everyone has to make a living, but go do something else. Provide a service that's not like something like this, because this is like, I would die to help people get out of this place. Okay. And he's worried about money. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. The Archons, demons, or whatever they are, was just another user who warned about candle magic. I think he was on here last time. Okay. And Alice Gunther says it went good. She's just troubled. She is she does seem, or did seem, very troubled indeed. I don't remember her saying anything that I could really say that Tony did a bad job. All right. I'm not, I don't know. I've heard issues with it, but I'm not a big Tony fan, so I'm not going to sit here and defend him, but I'm not going to say he does a bad job with it. My gut tells me like we could probably figure out how to do that shit without paying somebody whatever the hell he charges. I don't think we need that. So I don't think he needs it. I think he can get a job. He can do something making money. I wouldn't do that. Twisted Reality says, it's strange watching Tony for 1 week. I had people calling my phone trying to sell me those healing products. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them out there selling these healing services, products, books. I mean, I just totally don't take them seriously at all. I mean, it just, I'm sorry. And of course, they don't like go after each other. They don't like criticize one another like Tony, Howdy, Forever Conscious Research. They're all like buddies, of course, right? They don't disagree about anything. And of course, all you have to do is you just have to see these guys, like who they go live with, who they're connected with. They're all connected with. Eventually, at some point, you're going to see, oh shit, that guy fucking talked to that guy? What? It's just like, it's the network. Yeah. Jade Tarot's got some serious issues. And that's why I think she might be deceased, Atlas Gunther. I think she might have possibly overdosed or something happened. I mean, she's been raped. She's been abused. She's gone through a lot of shit. Who the hell knows what happened to her? But it's just odd if somebody posts videos pretty regularly and then they go away for 2 years and they don't respond and say anything, and people are wondering where they are. I mean, that's just kind of odd. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just she's had a lot of troubles, and hopefully she's doing all right. I don't know. Hey, Browns boy, how's it going? I don't know. You were working on some website, right? Is that you about the website with the network of agents out there? That's interesting. Derek, the guy who made videos in his car. Wait, Derek who made videos. Oh, Derek, Lion Sword, right? Yeah. Lion Sword. Yeah, he like faked his death, didn't he? I mean, I hope, if he didn't fake his death, I hate to say that, but I don't want to like joke about it, but it's like, dude, like what I mean, I don't know. It just looks, I mean, yeah, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. It was pathetic. I mean, the whole thing was pathetic. I mean, what do you do? He takes things so seriously, and I don't know what he was doing. It's just crazy. And people watch him, and people like the guy and probably give him money. I don't know, but he's been gone for a while. So I watched maybe a little bit of one video, and he said something about health. He said the word healthy fats, and that turned me off. TSM got blamed for his death too, Alice Gunther. For Derek? Oh, Derek's death. Well, I don't think Derek even died, so that's just my opinion, just like I'm going to say that I don't think that Charlie Kirk died, if you guys know who that is. I don't think Derek did. I mean, if he did, that was his decision. I don't think anyone did it to him. He's a grown man, and he's not somebody that I, feel like, oh, he needs, a lot of protection and help. There's some people that are a little bit more, that are more vulnerable and, need some defense. And I think he can defend himself. I think Derek can defend himself, whether verbally and physically. I don't think he needs someone's help. He doesn't need me to give him a pass here. I think that, what he did was kind of weak. And I think a lot of people agree with me on that. Brown's boy says, yeah, it's a website. I can tie these internet actors to scammers. That's awesome, man. That's great. There's a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of them, a lot of agents. And, the thing about agent is you can call anyone an agent because they don't have to necessarily be a paid agent. They could just be an agent of the matrix, right? I mean, some people call me an agent, I'm an agent for good, truth. But if I'm an agent that's like a paid agent or something, like I'm one of the worst agents out there, and I've failed miserably, and I can't believe that they haven't fired me yet. Because, I don't have a big channel. I mean, the hell? I got 4 people in here right now. I'm a really good agent. Yes, yeah, Twisted Reality. People do have a breaking point. I understand. I get it. But sometimes you just gotta like shut down the internet, and stop engaging in it because it's just, I mean, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work to like when you're dealing with somebody that's, you know, angry, or somebody who's really like got a temper or something. I'm not, this is just random. I'm not saying that who he was dealing with has a temper or is angry, but if you're dealing with somebody who's really hot and you're hot, it's just going to raise things up and you're both going to get fucking more hot and more pissed off and it's never going to end well. Okay. So that seemed like it's like Derek. It's like, I don't know what he was expected to do. Punch his fist through the screen. Like what was he going to do? And like a lot of his videos, Derek, was him just yelling and screaming, at the screen. It's just, what is that going to do? And those, I don't believe those were live. I believe those were videos he uploaded. So he chose to upload those, and he could like think about what he's doing. He doesn't have to upload. He could say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't put that on the internet. Maybe I shouldn't put that on YouTube. And he did anyway. It's strange to me. I wouldn't do that. If I'm going to be all pissed off and angry, I'm not going to do it on camera so everybody can see. Brown's boy says, I like calling them actors. Then people's mind wanders to agent all by themselves. Yeah, actors can mean a lot of different things. Agent can mean different things too. But there are government agents out there for sure. I don't know how many are in like the Soul Trap community, but there are ones out there. There are ones that there are flat Earth agents. There are globe agents. Gosh, there's like, I swear there's Tartaria agents. I swear there's others. I just haven't looked into those topics as much in a long time. I do forget things. There's like mini mind wipes here in this reality. I get like a mind wipe every once in a while. It's there, but it's like, it's buried. I forget things. It sucks. I have to keep rehashing shit. Mr. Miyagi says, I sound like Flat Earth RV. Yeah, I get that a lot. I used to watch him a lot, so maybe that's why I picked up on his way of speaking, I guess. I don't know. Those guys would definitely beat TSM to a pulp. Keith and Derek are angry mofos. Twisted Reality Life. I don't know. I mean, TSM he's a tall, big dude, so I don't know. He'd probably take both of them pretty easily, as long as he's like healthy enough. Because he's I know he's not maybe the healthiest person, so I don't know. I mean, he's a little older. I mean, I would want to stay away from that guy, not because I'm afraid, but I don't know, man. I don't really trust. I don't really trust him. Brown's boy says agents are actors too. Absolutely, yeah. State actors, Fed actors, political actors, religious actors, court. Yeah, it's just everyone's an actor here. I think we're actors too. I mean, we're all putting on a mask. It's like the movie The Mask, where the guy says, the Jewish guy, Stein or whatever, he says, we're all wearing a mask, because we're figuratively all wearing a mask, putting on a show for everyone around us, because we have to adapt to our current environment so that we don't get spit on. And we have to cater to our audience, or not like audience like on YouTube, but like wherever you are. If you're at your job, if you're at a family gathering, you can't just be yourself. You just gotta follow the rules. You can't just go piss on the floor. You gotta go to the restroom. You can't make funny looks at people. Like I like to make, I like to make faces, not like purposely to be a dick, but it's like sometimes someone says something I don't like. I'm like, wow, that's weird, but I got to like make sure I don't look, a certain way. I don't know. So you got to fake yourself. Mr. Miyagi says, does anyone recognize the soul trap theory? Sounds like the demon allegory. The demon allegory. I haven't heard of that. I know what the soul trap is can make you fucking want to, off yourself. And it's not because I'm afraid. I'm not afraid of it. It's just like you got to think about what it actually does to you. It could be a lot. I think it's a lot bigger than that. I think it's very simplified. The soul trap. I don't think it's correct. I do think it's a hell realm. But why I'm here, how I got here, I don't know. And the soul trap, unfortunately, just makes people want to. It just puts people's minds in the basement of negativity, and there's no really way to. It's just it blocks your consciousness. It makes you not think clearly because you're under stress, and whether you want to admit it or not, it affects you if you spend enough time in that realm. It does affect you, and it affects some people worse than you and me. I mean, it affects them really bad, and it's like that's not good. It's not good. And a lot of the people that are in the soul trap, I mean, they're not like me, and they're not people that I would spend time with or hang out with in my real life. A lot of people that got in the soul trap, nothing against them, and I wish them well, but they got there because they're depressed, because they've had a lot of trauma in their life. But they still go vote in elections. You see what I'm saying? I just don't think that's good enough. I think what's important here and what I need to do, you can figure out for yourself, is like I need to be 100% true to myself and be honest to myself. I also need to live my life and strive to live my life as morally as I can. I know that does not sound, it's not fun, it's not interesting, but being moral and being truthful with yourself, being honest, knowing yourself, finding out who you are, what makes you, what triggers you. And I can do a video about that at some point, make it more organized. But the answers are more from within, and not on some YouTube channel telling you about life reviews, and telling entities that you're sovereign. I'm sovereign. You're not my authority. Well, guess what? Someone told me this. He said that, saying something like that, like, claiming your sovereignty, it basically is saying that you're not really sovereign. I mean, duh, of course I'm sovereign. I don't need to engage with these entities at all. And how the hell do I know if I might be creating these entities? I might be creating the hell that I'm in, is what I'm saying. But we want to project, or we want to point at something in the environment external to us and say, well, that's the problem. That's the problem. It's the entities. It's the entities. It's not me. I'm the victim. And that's what it is. It gives you that victim mentality. And then it kind of like doesn't teach you about morality, the soul trap. It just says, like, you don't need to be moral. All this stuff happened to you. Whatever you do in your life, it's not your fault. If you hurt somebody, if you stole some money and you never paid it back, or you promised someone something and you never fulfilled that, that's okay. You're in hell. And anything that you do, it's not going to be held against you, because, I'll tell you this, I'd hold it against myself. People say karma's not real, but there's karma, all right, because there's going to be karma with me, because I don't like treating people badly, especially ones who don't deserve it at all. So I'm going to be holding myself back here and putting myself back in this grinder. If I'm not living my life truthfully, and if I'm not living my life to a high moral standard, or as much as I can. Just looking through some of the other comments here. Brown's boy says the reason TSM thinks it's a soul trap is because he's been here the longest without the keys to leave. I don't know. I don't know how long anyone's been here. All I know is that it seems to me like he belongs here. And it doesn't seem like to me that he's going anywhere. But that's just my opinion. Mr. Miyagi says, technically a person or persona is wearing a mask. Yep, absolutely. We all wear masks. I'm wearing a mask right now. I'm thinking like, I don't want to make an idiot out of myself. I don't want to say something stupid. I want to present myself the best way I can. So I'm not really presenting myself 100% like myself because I have an audience here and I don't want to look like an idiot, you know? So I'm wearing a mask. And then Mr. Miyagi says, yes, traps souls of the offspring of the fallen trap because this is their origin. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I think there's some individuals here that just belong here, that were created here, or they just this is their home. It's not my home, but some of those people or individuals, that's their home. This is their home. Twisted Reality says, I don't know if it's a soul trap, but I ain't light. It ain't light in fairy tales. No, of course. I think it's in a sense, it is a hell. It is a hell realm. It could be 100%. I think the fact that, but like that doesn't mean like, it doesn't mean that I am here for a purpose, a reason. Like I said, I don't want people to take this the wrong way and think that I think that I'm here for a purpose. I don't know, but it's possible that I'm here for a reason. I don't understand what it is right now, but I'm here for a reason. But it's still hell. I came into hell. I walked into hell because I had to for some reason. I wanted to. I was on a mission. But this isn't necessarily a mission that something else, some external entity put me in. It could be something I chose for myself, but that scares the hell out of me because I don't want this to happen again. This sucks. I want to know where I was before. I want to retain my memory. I lean towards that I was tricked, but I don't know. I'm open to lots of things. I'm not just somebody who's saying we were tricked or we were forced. Those are people that are trying to make money out of this, make this into a business. Because if they're like, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. It could be this. It could be that. They're not going to make a lot of money, people. They're not going to make a lot because no one's going to trust them. No one's going to think they know what they're talking about. It's deception. Twisted Reality says I was kicked off his channel. If you're talking about TSM, a lot of people have been kicked off his channel, so that's not anything, anything that many others haven't experienced. He takes a lot of pride that he banned me 3 years ago. He just loves mentioning that he banned me 3 years ago. But I never banned him until recently. He could comment on my channel, on my videos. He could even talk shit, and I didn't ban him. So there you go. But I only did recently because, things got a little out of control. Mr. Miyagi says, there are many souls from above in this earth age that follows Satan in the last. Yeah, and you mentioned the fallen you mentioned, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that stuff. I don't know what, maybe you can allude to what you've been reading or where you've learned that from, but I'm open to it. That's the problem with the soul trap. It keeps you, like soul trap research, it just keeps you like in a very tight scope. You get tunnel vision, just soul trap, and you just forget everything else. You throw the baby out with the bathwater. Soul trap doesn't like things, certain words. Like it doesn't like the word frequency. It doesn't like the word positivity. There's a lot of words it doesn't like. It doesn't allow. It doesn't like the word love. It doesn't like the word light. It hates those words. It's definitely a psyop. Because what the hell is wrong with that? What's wrong with saying frequency? What the fuck? Because like instantly if I say frequency, people think I'm talking about new age stuff. I mean, get your fucking head out of your ass. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about frequency, bitch. Oh, man. So, we have somebody in here, Katie. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I don't like the handles, like how YouTube did the handle thing. They used to just do your regular name, but now they do like the handles, a pain in the ass, but YouTube loves to make the user experience worse and worse. Says, I do wonder if we were tricked or coerced here I'm open to any suggestions and opinions. Yeah, you know, I'll call you Katie. I'm open to anything. Not anything. I don't think that I was created. That's just me. I think I'm eternal. I wasn't created. I don't believe that there's an authority over me. But I'm open to that I came here for some sort of test or training. I'm open to that I was tricked here, that I might have been tricked because even though I had a lot of knowledge and I had a lot of experience as as an eternal spirit, I still could be taken advantage of if I was in a vulnerable state. I could still be tricked. I'm not perfect. I don't think anything that is truly real is perfect. So we do make mistakes. I'm also open to being forced here. Maybe there's some war going on and I was a prisoner of war and I came here. I don't know. There's a lot of theories. I don't know if we'll ever find out how we got here, but I think there's things that we can do to help give ourselves the best chance to have true freedom and be able to live truly in a sovereign state. I really do think there's things we can do here, and that's not going to be putting your head in the dumpster, your mind in the dumpster. It's not going to be the darkness, keeping yourself and consuming yourself with darkness all the time. I don't think be aware of it, know that it's there. Oh, there it is. I see it in my peripheral, but don't have it be the center of your focus. Twisted Reality Life says he's kind of weird, will play the aggressor and victim at the same time. I don't know if you're referring to TSM. Weird, yes. Aggressor, yes. Plays victim, yes. So I agree with all three of those. Katie says Soul Trap keeps you in a victim. Yes, and that's what I said earlier. It makes you the victim. It makes you, it's basically like, well, if you do something bad in this life, it's like, well, that's okay. You're a victim. You know, we're trapped in here. You're in hell. It doesn't matter what you do. You're not responsible for it. And I think that's the problem. I think we are responsible. That doesn't mean that there's something, that's in control of us. But I'm telling you, if you are a true spirit, if you are a moral spirit, you're going to hold you're going to hold it against yourself. I know I will. I know if I'm a shitty person, it's going to be hard for me to get out of here. It's going to be difficult. If it's not just an easy walk out the door, if it is a struggle, if it is difficult and it's a true spiritual thing that we have to really sort of cleanse our spirit here to get out. That's not going to happen if I was a dickhead to people, or if I was a liar, or a thief. It's not going to happen. Windsor 13 is in here. It says, have you listened to what Pink Elephant put out a while back? I think you would did his works as it aligns with what I've come to know too. I've heard of Pink Elephant. I did go to the channel, but I didn't really watch anything, or I don't remember anything from it. But now that you've mentioned it, I'll have to look at it again. You're the second person that's mentioned Pink Elephant. The name Pink Elephant sort of turns me off a little bit. I don't know why, but I'm a boy. I don't like the color pink, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know. I guess there's pink dolphins now. Have you guys seen pink dolphins? Is that a Mandela effect? I don't know. Windsor 13 also says there's a channel called Last Karmic Life that re-uploaded his stuff before he went dark. Last Karmic Life. Let me check that out real quick. I've heard of that. What is it? Last Karmic Life. Last Karmic Life. Let's see what we got going on here. Is there no channel? Because I just put it in YouTube search and I don't see it. Is the channel not up anymore? Is it not available? Oh, darn. I'm not seeing it. Well, I can definitely check that out. Windsor. He went dark, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'll write that down. cool stuff. And then Katie says, I noticed that when I had certain beliefs that things would happen that would match that belief. It's almost like it works like an algorithm. Yeah, same here. I've been noticing that my whole life, and more recently, in the last several years, since I've been more kind of awake to this reality and that how powerful the mind is, intention, expectations, and yeah, certain beliefs for sure. I mean, not all the time, but there are certain times that I'm just like, yeah, it's just that's just the way the mind works. If you believe something, if you have a strong intention, then you're going to have a much better chance of realizing that. There's no question about that at all. If you don't believe something, it's just not, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Doesn't mean it's not true, but it kind of depends. It's like whatever you think you can and what you think you can't. Either way, you're right. But yeah, beliefs is an interesting thing because there's things that I believe in that, just because I believe it strongly doesn't mean it's true. But then there's things that, I believe that I think that do manifest in some way, or this reality, like you said, like an algorithm, it kind of it kind of puts things, it moves things around to kind of make me see that and realize that belief and like that's true. It's pretty deep stuff for sure. Mr. Miyagi says, think about this. If Satan can talk, the fallen, what is that? Ephilim, out of their position. He can talk just about any human out of their position. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of, the Satan, I don't know. There's a lot of like the Satan thing. I haven't really looked into. I'm not like too much into Christian stuff. I kind of look at it as like Satan, the devil, evil. You can call it the demiurge. You can just talk about any human out of their position. I don't know. I don't really understand that too much, the way it's written. I don't think you did anything wrong with the way you typed that, but I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding exactly what you mean. If you want to rewrite it, so my tiny little brain can understand, I'm sorry. I find myself saying, gee, really? So many times I went to troll Brian Stavely and change it. Oh, really? Brian Stavely, I'm not I think Brian's part of the club, part of the network, but kind of the shill network. But I was a pretty big fan of Brian Stavely back in the day. I really liked his stuff, his videos. It was really good stuff. I thought his 9/11 research was amazing. And obviously his Mandela stuff was really good, but the Mandela stuff kind of got boring to me because that was like all he would talk about. It just got kind of boring. It's like, all right, we get it. Reality shifts, reality's fluid. It was depends diapers. It was depends. And it was, I don't know if you guys have, what is it? The like Jiffy peanut butter. I don't know if you guys remember Jiffy peanut butter and shit like that. So the Monopoly guy in the monocle. South America is Southeast America now. It's just crazy stuff. It's crazy. It sucks because it's like, it's like, why can't they grow back bald men's hair? Why can't I wake up tomorrow and be like 3 inches taller? I'm not short, but I'm not quite 6 feet. So it'd like be nice. So why can't that happen? Like as a Mandela effect? Why can't I like wake up and like all the stains on my teeth from drinking coffee and smoking marijuana go away, and I have like nice pearly whites again? I don't know, but like, why can't they benefit me in some way? Yeah, Windsor, you could link it if you want. I don't know, you could send me an email. You could just, I don't know. I mean, I have it written down. I mean, I can definitely find it at some point, so it's not a problem. Just looking through these comments here. It's kind of tough to read the comments. Sometimes I'm just reading them and then I'm like, oh shit, I don't even know what that says. Yeah, he had some good 7-Eleven shows. Yeah, he did. And like, I think people still think people died on that. I don't think anyone died. okay, on that day. I don't think there was anybody in the building. Don't you think if somebody was in the building that they would have had like footage of people running out of the building? And also, the building was basically completely unoccupied after 1997, and the attacks of the flight, like the plane, I think it was before like 9 in the morning. So it was before people were actually going to be even in there anyway. So like if you're going to take down a building and kill a bunch of people, you would do it like, I don't know, like 10 in the morning. You wouldn't do it like 8, whatever it was. The first flight was like before, I think it was before 9. So yeah, I don't think anybody was offed on that day. But I think some people still think that. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just there's not a lot of good videos anymore in that stuff. It's like YouTube has scrubbed all that shit, and it's on the BitChute that has like the worst search engine you could ever find. I mean, it's terrible. Yeah, the footage of people jumping is completely fake, and if you look at that, you can see that it's fake. It's glitched. I think somebody even like ran through fire. It was all messed up. And those windows, if you look into the windows, Mr. Miyagi, they were fixed windows. They don't open. They don't have cranks. The windows do not open in the World Trade Center. Nobody jumped out of windows. They were also bulletproof windows as well. So Brian Stavely went through all that stuff, and his stuff is on BitChute for the 911 incident. So, and there were no airplanes either. At least that's my what I've gathered. Awesome. We got 12 people in here. That's sweet. I know there's some people out there lurking, but feel free, leave a comment, ask a question. That would be great to see some other faces in here. That'd be awesome. Never seen some of these. I've never seen Mr. Miyagi in here. I've never seen Katie Luscombe. Is that Luscombe? Is that okay? Is that correct? 7354. I've never seen you in here. So that's awesome to see. Thank you. Appreciate it. 14 in here. Be great to have a couple more people in the chat just to see who's in here. Who out of these 13, who's in here? Oh, you do watch often. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I want to do a video at some point on my thoughts on the soul trap and all that, and sort of the pros and cons to the soul trap. But I think there are a lot of positive things you can take from it. I think before the soul trap, before I started researching it, I felt like I would have been tricked. If there was going to be a scenario where I was going to be, confronted, or if I was going to be communicating with any entities, I would have just followed it. I would have probably done whatever they wanted me to do. But because of the soul trap, I don't trust it anymore. I don't trust anything but myself. So that was a good thing. That was definitely positive. I just think the problem with the soul trap is it puts your mind in the gutter. It makes you extremely negative about things. And that's something that I'm willing to admit, that it makes you negative. It makes you see everything in a dark light. It puts a dark cloud over your head. And that, dare I say, lowers your frequency, if you will, quote, frequency, whatever that means. But it puts you in a state of fear, essentially. And, what do the controllers do? Typically the rulers, if you will, the quote rulers, the quote controllers, how do they control people? They control people with fear. Okay. When you're in fear, it's very hard to make a rational decision. Okay. It's a fight or flight. And I think the soul trap does a little bit of that as well. There's also channels that show a lot of demonic imagery in their videos. And as many of us know, the subconscious takes in symbols. So the demonic imagery is just symbolic of something demonic, something evil, something unsightly, very low, quote, low frequency. And I just don't think when you're on your deathbed, you don't need demons in your head. Okay. You don't need to be thinking, you don't need to have your subconscious, you know, giving you these demonic images or making you expect demons are going to come into your reality. I mean, it's just, it's an opportunity for you to create, because we are powerful, we are creators. It gives you that opportunity to create a negative outcome for yourself potentially. So like, again, I just think that there are some things that are good about it, the soul trap topic, the soul trap narrative, or the soul trap theory, but I think it throws the baby out with the bathwater, unfortunately. All right. Well, Mr. Miyagi, appreciate you being here. You have a good one. We'll catch you again soon. Twisted Reality says, well, we're negative in a way, but see the bigger picture. I guess there should be a balance. Yeah, absolutely. I think that unfortunately with a lot of the soul trap information that's out there through these channels, there's not enough balance. There's a lot of the negativity, the negative side, although they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to say that you should be a miserable person. They're going to say, hey, you should enjoy the small things in life. You should enjoy things. You should have fun. But that's not really their point. That's not really what's happening. What's really happening is they're telling you what's going to happen in the future. And this is just my opinion. I don't think that's good. You guys, I really don't want you guys to just, I want you guys to not be influenced by what I'm saying. In my opinion, I think that they are sort of programming your mind for the future, your afterlife experience to be a certain way that might not bring you the best outcome. That's just my opinion. We're very, gosh, I don't know how to say it. I guess fragile when it comes to information that we receive. You know, when we receive information, it's very powerful, and the subconscious is very powerful. So I think the things that they do, and they kind of program you with these things, you know, are gonna, you know, it could put you in a situation where you end up creating that for yourself, creating like this life review, you know, creating the entities. Like, not everybody has, like, Forever Conscious Research does, you know, all these all this analysis of these near death experiences, NDEs, and they're not all like that. I mean, I've heard from people that it's nothing like that at all. Those NDEs that we see in those videos. You know, how do we know that that's going to be our reality or our afterlife experience? I don't think it's going to be like that at all. I mean, for one thing, if it is like that, well, we're sure as hell going to be prepared for it, aren't we? We're going to kind of know what to expect. So I think that them telling you that stuff, you could create that for yourself. I don't know. I look out for things that are possible that could happen because I want to be prepared for it, even if it's like a negative thing like that. And I don't like these people personally. I don't respect them. I do respect the research they do, but as a person, morality, I don't. Maybe that's just because I'm different. That doesn't necessarily make them wrong. I don't know. It's just, I wouldn't be selling you. I mean, the prices that FCR, Forever Conscious, what he charges people is insane. I don't know what Tony charges for his shock removals, but it's probably a pretty good number, a pretty high number. And it's just, I mean, I don't know. Like, these guys are motivated by money, and that's a problem. That's a huge red flag to me right off the bat. So, and then I think TSM, you know, he's another one where, you know, he doesn't take money or anything. He doesn't do that, but he puts those demonic images in your subconscious, and he has you focus on the worst aspects of reality. And that's true. He's right that those things are happening. And those things are way more prevalent than they should be, and that this is a hell realm. At least in a sense, it is hell. But focusing on that day after day, becoming consumed by all that negativity is not empowering you. That is not going to make you a stronger spirit. Maybe for a few days, maybe for a week or two, you might watch some of those videos. The Esoterica series, which can be very valuable. It was extremely valuable for me. But he's been doing this for 3.5 years or so. For 3.5 years, imagine watching that stuff every single day. That does not empower you. And there are no solutions. So although there are things that he says that are very true and valuable, it's the repetition of the same, putting your mind in the basement of just all this darkness. It's not for me. And it's not because I'm weak. It's just because I realize there's a whole other, world of thought out there. There's so many more things out there than just what he's discussing. But I don't want to focus too much on that. I mean, there's others, like I said, Tony, the business side of it. He's a businessman. FCR is a businessman. Howdy, he writes books. He's a businessman. Why can't one of these people, with all this knowledge that they have, why can't they do it for free? Why don't they have the kindness, the heart to do this stuff for free? I'm not capable of doing what they're doing. I do this obviously for free. I don't ever have donation links or ask for donations or anything like that. And if I had more subscribers, I wouldn't do it. That's not why I do this. So I'm not doing it. But why can't somebody who's capable do this stuff for free? Why can't there be one person? Why can't somebody like Howdy write a book and put it in a PDF and give it away for free? Or at least he can give the book for free and have a donation link. So if people want to give him some money, they can. He forces you to do it. He even said a couple years ago that he wasn't going to release the second part of his book unless more people subscribe to his website or subscribe to something. I think it was something to do with his website or newsletter or whatever. He wasn't getting enough money. So he decided that, hey, I'm going to hold my book hostage. So people have to pay me or I'm not releasing this book. Oh, come on. What kind of truth seeker is that? What kind of heart is that? That's not the heart that I have. I just don't have the ability to write like he does. I don't have the big brain that he has or whatever. It'd just be nice if somebody would do the right thing, at least in my opinion. And again, this is my opinion. You guys don't have to have that same opinion. Let's see some of these comments here. Okay, yeah, no, that's cool. Oh no, yeah, Rick and Backer. I always stumble over your name, but Rick and Backer, it's good to see you. It's okay to be late. It's I don't know how much longer I'm going to go because I'm going to have to eat soon, and it's just this gets so exciting and just it's fun talking with you guys, and I get carried away, and then it ends up being too late, and then it's like it just kind of throws off my night and like I sleep like crap and it's just not good because like I'm having a drink or two here, and sometimes if I go live too long, I drink too much, and that's not good. I won't feel good later on, and I start slurring my speech, and I start kind of acting weird, and not acting weird, but talking weird. Like I start talking like I'm drunk or something. I'm not drunk yet. But. All right, let's see here. Rate Generation cases. Rate Generation X has some interesting theories about this place in connection to 1972 and events that year. Well, I have not heard of that Rate Generation X, but I will write that down. Awesome. I'm going to check that out. This is great. So I got 2 new channels here I'm going to check out. I hope it's not a shill channel, though, Katie. I'm going to be very disappointed in you. I'm just kidding. Oh, Rat. Okay. Rat. All right. Rat Generation. Thank you. And how old are you? You look like a young guy. Oh man, should I tell my age? Oh. Well, I'm 37. How old are you? How old is everybody here? I don't think money and truth go together. I don't either. I don't think money and truth go together at all. I get a very awkward, kind of weird feeling about it, kind of a cringy feeling, and just about money and truth going to. It's just not right. I mean, when I started truth seeking and I was watching all these channels and they accepted money and super chats, I was kind of like, ooh, that'd be cool. Like having a channel speaking truth and making a little bit of money. That would be great. And it wasn't because it was coming from somebody, like it wasn't coming from me as far as being selfish or like wanting to take advantage. It was just more like I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. It took me a while to understand that it does not mix. And it's just like I don't like it. I don't like it. That's all I'm going to say about that. A PDF. Oh wow, a PDF. I don't know what you mean by PDF. Somebody on YouTube exposed Howdy being connected to a PDF. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I wouldn't be surprised with some of these characters. They've pretty shady, some of these people, honestly. And so many people put trust into them, and they give them money. And it's just like, and then I don't know. I speak out against some of these people and then I get a lot of shit for it. And it's like, I'm sorry. 41. Okay. Yeah. So you've hit the 40. I hope it's not so bad. I'm getting there, but it's not like turning 50. Like 50 is really like, oh man, 50? Jeez. Money can also keep people pushing certain narratives. Of course, it'll keep you kind of stuck in your lane, stuck to doing whatever gives you the most cash. Changing things on your audience. That's going to make your audience could alienate you. It could. And like for me, I was a big soul trap, not pusher. I've never been a soul trap pusher. I talked about the soul trap. I was like, I think it's a soul trap, but I'm not 100% sure. But now I'm like saying it's a psyop. And obviously I lost some subs for that and people got pissed off, but I can do that because I'm not doing this for money. So I can just be completely honest about how I feel. I'm in my mid 30s. Twisted Reality, and look older because I drink and smoke. Yeah, well, that's yeah. People generally say that I look young for my age. Although I feel like I'm starting to, get a little bit older looking now. I don't know what it is. I think it's the soul trap. I think 3 years ago I looked a lot younger, and now 3 years later, like I'm just looking all old and, shriveled up basically. But that's cool. Mid 80s, so you're kind of around my age. That's awesome. Twisted Reality. Well, it's Twisted Reality says Katie's a cute one. I don't know what you want to think about that, but I haven't seen what Katie looks like. I just see her picture's very tiny here. So I can't really see the details, but I'm sure Katie is a magnificent looking young lady. I'm starting to go gray too. I mean, it sucks, especially in the beard. That's where it is, the beard. It starts there. And then it's also like a little bit on the sides. And it just, it's just like, it's just not a big deal. It's like, you just have to like, it's not a big deal because I know I'm so much more than this body. I'm not this body, so I don't care. I mean, I say I don't care, but then I look in the mirror and I'm like, come on, I wish I was like 20 again. I was so cute when I was 20 because I kind of was. I was kind of a good looking dude back then, but now I'm like, shit. I never thought this day would come. So Joshua S. John says, where can I buy your courses and books? And do you offer any one-on-one sessions for Hell Realm Healing? No, unfortunately, I do not have any courses as of yet, or any books. This is a one-on-one session right now. This is it right here. This is all you get for one-on-one sessions. It's these live streams. I'm not going to charge anybody money for anything. I'm not going to claim that I have any like special knowledge. I don't. I'm just being myself and I'm just explaining things the way that I see them, and my intuition, and letting you guys kind of know my thoughts. And you do not have to agree at all. And the thing is, like, people are going to give me shit for saying, like, oh, people shouldn't sell books and all that. People shouldn't do these services. But I'll just tell you this: I wouldn't do it. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. Everyone needs to make up their own minds on this stuff. I just don't think it's right. That's just where I stand. And that's the type of community that I want to have on my channel, is a community that knows that does things out of the kindness of their heart, and not because they want a business out of it, not because they want to profit from it. Now, if anybody is in need, if anybody truly is in need and needs help, I'm more than willing to help somebody. And I think that we should be open to helping others, who are really in need. That's important. So this isn't about saying that we all need to be, go be poor and live on the streets and stuff and suffer more. But what it does mean is that we don't need to be profiting, off truth and off the people that we care about here and that we're trying to help. Everybody has a different thing. Like, some people do channels where they teach, they teach. They might teach about symbolism, Freemasonry. They might teach you about history, lies in history, maybe Tartaria is an example. People will teach you about what is reality. They'll teach you about astrology. They'll teach you about all the connections, and they'll teach you religion, the fallen angels and their impact on this world. Some will teach you about, is the earth flat? Is it a crater earth? Is it all these other things? And then there's channels that are here to just support others and, say, hey, I'm just like you, and there's something cathartic about that. But also for the audience, it's something where it's like, hey, I'm not alone. And I think that's important too. I think it's important for people to know that they're not alone, and that there's people out there that are, in their shoes, at least similar. It's similar, and understand where they're coming from. And that's important. I try to do a little bit of sort of everything, but I'm not like a huge teacher. I could teach some stuff, but again, then I'm going to be called a baby truther, and it's not that I care, but it's like, do I really even want to do it? Do I want to teach people about signs and symbols and, masonry? I just don't, I don't want to do it. And everyone's going to say I'm a baby truther and I'm going backwards. So, it's kind of a double negative there, but everyone has their own thing. But I do think it's important that we do agree on certain things. And one that what I stand strong with is that money and truth do not mix, and truth should be shared freely. So if you want, you can go subscribe to Crow 777, Rose 777. Crow likes to sell the truth. And him and a lot of his buddies. He was one that a long time ago, I'm like, this is so weird. Like, this guy has a YouTube channel where he'll play a video for 20 minutes or something, and then he'll say, well, for the full video, you got to pay me. You got to go to my website and pay me. And I'm just like, what the hell, dude? What the hell is that all about? It should be free, it absolutely, Katie, it should definitely be free. And I don't know. The thing is, I've seen so many channels. There's a channel that I bashed a little while ago, and it's Jake the Awake channel. Used to be Jake the Asshole. And I was a huge follower of that channel. A few years ago, I really enjoyed it, but man, once he started getting into the money, it changed. He's doing live streams and videos to attract the greatest audience that he can. Talking about NFL rigged, talking about things like Trump all the time, like the U.S. president. A lot of things that he didn't used to. He used to talk more about the nature of reality and flat Earth and things like that. And at least it was in the right direction. So that's just an example of how the money just gets in the way. and it dictates what you're going to talk about. And you're also going, like, you're not going to be like, having a quote successful channel and making like some decent money and then be like, well, guys, it's a hell realm. It's just, that's not going to make you the money, and so it's unfortunate that there's a lot of that out there, but you guys are smart enough and you can see through it, fortunately. All right, I'm going to be live for a little longer, but not too much. I'm about to wrap up pretty soon. It does look like Tony Sayers is live right now. He's doing a QA, so that'd be something cool to hop over to later, I guess, if you want. But I don't know. I had another thing. What was the last thing I wanted to say real quick here? Because I wanted to, oh, yeah. Let's see. I don't know. It was NPCs. I talked about NPCs. I talked about, like fake reality, the network in clicks. I think I've pretty much covered it all. So I'll pretty much leave it up to you guys. If anybody has any, I'll wait like a minute or two. If anybody has any questions or any topics that they wanted to bring up, I'd be very happy to, to entertain that. But if not, if nobody has anything to add, I'm pretty good with wrapping this up. I've kind of gone through what I wanted to, but I'll wait a little bit here and see if anybody has any questions or anything they wanted to mention or bring up. So, and while that's going on, I see there's 13 people in here, which is awesome. 11 likes, which I think is the most I've had on a live. So I really do appreciate that. That's a good amount of likes. So hopefully what I was saying was resonating. And that's another word that Soul Trap doesn't like. They don't like the word resonate either. You notice that? They don't like resonate. So I can't say resonate. I can't say frequency. I can't say vibration or I can say energy probably, but I can't say frequency and vibration. I can't say certain words in the Soul Trap community. They're banned words. They're not allowed. I like the word resonate. It just rolls off the tongue. It just, it's easy. Resonate. And I like it. All right. So it looks like we have not many more comments or questions or anything. So we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes. They don't like certain words and they're dogmatic and it's a psyop. And that's all we got, folks. Well, thank you. Enjoy your Friday night, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.